Brooklyn Independent Television.
Coming up on Brooklyn Review.
Got an old computer or television that you don't know what to do with? I'm Sherry Carabin, and coming up on Brooklyn Review, I'll take you inside the borough's new e-waste recycling facility.
I'm Melissa Rose Cooper in Bay Ridge, where drivers and merchants are hoping to get time on their side with new parking regulations.
You want a job done and done right, let a woman do it, that's for sure.
We'll have these stories and more next. Welcome to Brooklyn Review. I'm Brian Vines. Well, it's an age-old story. After finally finding a parking spot, you come back to a ticket for an expired meter. Well, in Bay Ridge, they're getting a break as the city installs new meters to give people a chance to spend more time in the places they want to be. Melissa Rose Cooper has the story.
Rocco's Pizza Shop is just one of many businesses along Fifth Avenue that doesn't have to worry about its customers rushing out the front door.
People have to always be in a rush and concerned about the time that they have, about getting a ticket or something of that nature.
For years, drivers in Bay Ridge were only given an hour to park on the street at a meter. Not merely enough time to do all the things they wanted.
Fifth Avenue and Third Avenue are small mom and pop stores. We have a lot of restaurants. We have a lot of hair and beauty salons and local retail stores. And what many of the customers and merchants were telling us, that particularly with the salons and restaurants, is that 1 hour was just not enough time for their patrons.
But all that's changing now, as the Department of Transportation says it's replacing the existing 1-hour meters along 5th and 3rd Avenues with 2-hour ones by April. The news of the extension comes after months of pushing by the community board, merchants, shoppers, and politicians to increase the time allowed for people to park.
Patrons oftentimes would go elsewhere where there was parking facilities because the 1-hour parking meter did not meet their needs. So when the muni meters changed, when the city decided to install muni meters in place of parking meters, they had some flexibility as it relates to the time span. And what the 3rd Avenue and 5th Avenue merchants requested was that those meters go to 2 hours, giving patrons more time to go to restaurants or beauty parlors beauty salons without having to run out in the middle of a process or in the middle of a meal to feed the meter.
Many people in the community feel the hour limit just doesn't give customers enough time to shop around, often resulting in expensive parking tickets.
We get complaints from a lot of people, customers that come in, and they say 1 hour is actually not enough for them to do their shopping here, and cause them a lot of tickets.
If you walk on 3rd and 5th Avenue at any given time, you can see 1 to 2 traffic agents walking the strip every day. Many people felt that it was too much enforcement, that the second your meter expired, there would be a traffic agent there waiting to issue a summons. And, this made for difficult shopping for many people. They were, hesitant to come to the avenue to go to a restaurant and have to pay, a $40 or $50 summons.
The increase in meter time to 2 hours will allow people to shop and dine in the area a little longer without fear of having to feed the meters before time runs out.
We think this is positive for businesses. We think it's positive for our residents and those who wish to come to Bay Ridge to have dinner or to frequent some of our restaurants.
And store owners who suffer financially because customers don't have the chance to spend much time in their stores are hoping this will not only increase their revenue, but also help boost the community's economy.
Increasing the time to 2 hours will definitely benefit all the merchants and the businesses, and I think it'll give a nice boost to the economy and getting people to spend more time on the avenue.
I get a lot of people here that come in, they're shopping, and we're talking about certain items that they want to buy, and they get distracted with having to go outside and feed the meter every time. So having that extra time, it helps us, spend quality time with our customers as well.
A win-win situation for everyone in Bay Ridge. For Brooklyn Review, I'm Melissa Rose Cooper.
Most of us know the process for recycling our plastics, newspaper, and other items. But what do you do with your old electronics? Well, it turns out there's an easy way to handle these as well. The Eastside Ecology Center recently opened an e-warehouse in the Gowanus section of Brooklyn, and reporter Sherry Carabin takes us inside the new facility.
The sign says it all. The Lower East Side Ecology Center's new e-waste warehouse is open for business and doing a lot of it.
What is? All right. Let's have a little bit of stuff. Okay. For now.
You have a quick second to fill out a survey?
Sure, no problem.
Located at 469 President Street in Brooklyn, the Collection Center is the Lower East Side Ecology Center's first and only permanent facility in all 5 boroughs. The nonprofit organization officially opened the site on January 31st. It operates Tuesday through Saturday and accepts both working and non-working electronic items, ranging from televisions and computers to cables and cell phones.
We dropped off an old DVD player that doesn't work anymore, an old cell phone that doesn't work anymore, and an old wireless router.
What is your most popular item?
I think one of the things, as far as bulk goes, that we get a lot of are these old CRTs. So as people are phasing out of their old televisions here and going to the flat screens, we just get a ton of these. Things that we don't take are household appliances, so your air conditioners, your microwaves, vacuums, things of that sort. We don't take light bulbs, but the majority of other electronics we do take, batteries as well.
While there is growing awareness of the need to recycle electronics, many people don't know what to do with these products, and others don't fully understand the potential harm that can be done to the environment if they are simply dumped in the trash.
Computer and other electronics have a lot of materials in them that are bad for the environment, and so if you were to throw them away, end up in the landfill, it goes into the waters, it goes into the ground. Within the computers, for example, they have a lot of cadmium and other bad materials that leach into the ground if they end up in a landfill.
The Lower East Side Ecology Center does hold events around the city to raise awareness, allowing people to drop off their electronics at the same time. Judging by the growing number of people coming to this center on President Street, the organization's message seems to be getting through.
For the month of February, for example, we had around 400 people drop off materials, totaling around, I think it was 30,000 pounds of electronic waste. Sure, we'll take that.
What did you bring?
A whole bunch of old stuff from my old computers that I taken apart.
Such as?
Hard disks, CD drive, motherboard, stuff like that. These things have been sitting in my closet for a while. I wanted to throw them away, but I didn't want to throw them away. I want to get rid of them. But so when I heard that this place was here, it was great to be able to find a place where you don't have to really throw it into trash. I know there's stuff in there that shouldn't really go into in a dump. So.
All right, thanks a lot.
Why did your organization choose to set up a facility in Brooklyn versus one of the other boroughs?
Why here? We found a great space. This was formerly a printing facility, and so it had a great rack system that we can actually store the material before it goes to our recycler. So the material, after it's dropped off, we palletize it, we wrap it up, put it in boxes, and we ship it to our recycler. We recycle in Mount Vernon.
Right now, Director Macaulay Campbell is the only full-time employee, but he does get help from volunteers and interns, with those working at the Ecology Center also pitching in.
Right now it's manageable. I'm sure it's going to get a little crazy. Got a second to fill out a survey? Sure. So at minimum you zip. Any other info you can provide would be great.
In the future, the goal is to create a retail component so that some of the electronics that are still working can be resold. For now, many of those dropping off items say they're just glad they finally have a convenient place to go. What did you bring?
A couple computers, a lot of power cords, and a phone.
Are you glad that this place is here?
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great idea.
Will you bring more stuff?
Yes.
This is Sherry Carabin reporting for Brooklyn Review.
At this year's annual meeting of the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, a 26-year-old undergraduate from Long Island University will be awarded a top honor. Her story of triumph and achievement is sure to inspire.
My name is Martha Lewis. I'm an undergraduate biology student at Long Island University, Brooklyn campus. I submitted my abstract at the Experimental Biology Seminar in California. And this is like an annual conference where thousands and thousands of scientists, PhD candidates, faculty, graduate students, and some undergrad students submit in the abstract and they have to present. They have the American Society for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. So I sent my abstract under them. And they, after reading my abstract, they said, okay, we want you to present we want you to do a poster presentation, and also they want to include my research in their news release. Basically, I worked with Pseudomonas aeruginosus. It's a type of bacteria that causes nosocomial infections in healthcare settings. So for example, when people get admitted to the hospital or healthcare setting, they end up contracting some of like a skin lesion, which is similar to staph. But this type of bacteria is a little aggressiver than staph because it's highly resistant to antibiotics. But mostly I use the carbonicillin or tacacillin, which are it's similar molecular structure. And whenever you administer this type of antibiotics, the bacteria possesses resistance. So what we did was we used a compound known as polyamine. It's it's an organic compound that minimizes the concentration level of the antibiotics. So with the polyamines, instead of doctors administering, let's say, 256 microliters of the antibiotics, in conjunction with polyamine, they can only administer up to like 8 microliters or 4 microliters, but they have to administer this compound, like 2 microliters of the compound. So basically we found out that using this compound in conjunction with this antibiotics, it lowers the resistant mechanism. So doctors can actually use that in treating patients. Right now, I took great interest in researching because I want to do MD PhD, like go to medical school, get a medical degree, as well as pursue a PhD career where I can do research that is related to human infectious diseases, and I can go back to Africa. I was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa, and this country had decade-long civil conflicts with just individuals that disagree with the governmency. Unfortunately, like 1998, January 6th, I still remember that. I was young, granted, and it was on a Monday, January 6th. Like that was the first day we had schools open up, everyone was happy to go back. And in the afternoon, like late afternoon to night, we were in the house watching TV with my family. And my younger brother went outside and he came back and said, I think something is wrong. There's a lot of people outside running, crying, saying, oh, the rebel are attacking, killing people. And then when we came outside, like we stopped a couple of people that were running. They said, yes, the rebel are attacking. They finally entered the city, which was a lot of things. People didn't expect that to happen. So the same night, everyone, of course, panicked. And we wanted to gather our things to say, okay, let's just join these people in running. And my mom was like, no, if anything is going to happen, we all are going to stay in the house and just pray that nothing happened. And my childhood friends and his family, they actually called and said, okay, they were leaving. They're packing up and they're going west because we were in the east side. And we stayed in the house, prayed. The next morning when we wake up, I found out that my friends, the ones that are left, all of them got killed. Like 85% of the people that left that night got killed. After witnessing all those heinous crimes, seeing all those blood, seeing people just literally dying from hunger, starvation, and the only thing that keeps coming on my mind, like really, how can I help those people? And then when I moved to Germany, I'm like, I think I want to do something in a medicine, so at least when I see someone dying, I can be able to perform a simple CPR and save them, or like probably just do something to stop the bleeding. So I think that was like my great influence in pursuing medicine.
So imagine a high school in Brooklyn that helps students train for careers in sports management, law, marketing, or even sneaker design. Fred Brown headed around town to Bensonhurst to check out the winning team and some of its star players.
Christian Waterman and Josh Hernandez are on a mission. They're using sneakers as a way to help inspire urban teens to score big in life and become winners even against the odds.
So I mean, in pretty, recent months, we've seen, sort of like little riot conditions around the nation and deaths over shoes. So what we're trying to do is get these people to move away from that consumerist aspect of their lives where they're giving this money frivolously to these companies that are giving literally nothing back to the community. They're, for a foam-posite shoe, that's $200 each. And then when we talk about the aftermarkets, we're talking about thousands of dollars for a pair of shoes. So we're trying to, Sneakers for Success, people that, become a part of this program, we want them to become power players.
With Sneakers for Success, what we do is we cater to the different schools and clubs, like boys clubs or whatever. We might go in and do a workshop on writing, and it's writing a sneaker story, or we might go in and do a workshop on marketing, introducing the 4 P's of marketing: price, product, place, promotion. So I mean, we do a lot of different things, but always at the focal point is the sneaker.
I've been a sneaker head for many years, but I still don't have any money to really afford the sneakers I want. Even though we're talking about sneakers, what we're saying to these kids is that if you pursue the things you love, pursue your passions, you will be successful in life.
We all go through different life travels and life paths, but we can take something away from each other. Like Christian, I learned so much from Christian just within this past year, working with him in Sneakers for Success and then a couple other projects that we've done. If we can, continue that, everyone, each one teach one, and just continue to build power and just build a community around maybe sneakers, which some people might see as, something trivial. It's really not. Like, again, sneakers is the metaphor for what we're trying to do. We're just trying to empower, motivate, and inspire.
And here at the High School of Sports Management in Bensonhurst, inspiration is what it's all about.
Particularly for students of color, there is a lot of emphasis on us being players in the field or us being athletes, and not a lot of students know about the business side of the sport, that even though you're not 1 in a million people who make it to the professional level as an athlete, you can still be involved and totally involved in sports. You can run a team, you can be a sports agent, you can do marketing for the NBA or NFL, you can be a sports lawyer, you can still be in the game, but being behind the scenes or really at the forefront of where the game is going to the masses.
And doing what we're doing now is giving us a better role in the future, because some of us now, we come into high school, no less, and come in here, we learn about journalism and different stuff that we couldn't get in no other high school. We are a unique high school.
We recently had a sports speaker series where it was about all the women in the sports industry. And they show that it's tough being in that field because it's mostly male dominated, but that you could still do it and not to give up.
Those skills are transferable, right? So in terms of, or some kids, they're gonna leave self-assured, knowing where they wanna go. They're gonna hit roadblocks. They're gonna hit some obstacles and challenges. But what I want every kid from A to Z to understand, when you hit that roadblock, what are those things that you've learned here? How to settle yourself, how to think about who do I need to go to, what resources do I use? Multitude of kids who come here for most times the wrong reason, because they want to be Alex Rodriguez or Serena Williams. They want to be something that their talent may not get them there. However, their intellect could. Their intellect and their humility and their desire to just push the envelope further could actually see them there, because it's really about the hope. Now you surround yourself with the opportunity. And here at the High School of Sports Management, I think we have a great opportunity for children.
So when opportunity meets skill,
1, 2, 3,
highlight! It's definitely a formula for success. For Brooklyn Review, you've been around town with Fred Brown.
March is Women's History Month, and at Borough Hall, it was a chance to celebrate some of Brooklyn's phenomenal women. Take a look.
One group, as I always say each year, and the 2010 census showed that is the real majority. It's not African Americans, it's not whites, it's not Asian, it's not Latino, it's not Irish, it's not Italian, it's not Pakistanis or Caribbeans or Russian or Polish. It is women, not Catholics or Protestants, Jews, Buddhists, Hindus, women. Women in Brooklyn make up easily more than half of the population, and it's the main reason why Brooklyn is the greatest place in America. We have the greatest women anywhere.
The BP's boast is hard to discount, especially when you consider the honorees at this year's 2012 Women's Herstory induction ceremony.
The way we have our history celebration set up is that we give honor to women past and women current. So it links the two so that we all see what our women have done and what they're doing for us now.
With honors named for outstanding women in Brooklyn history, such as suffragist Lucy Burns, pioneering legislator Shirley Chisholm, Emily Roebling, the managing engineer during the construction of the Brooklyn Bridge, and A Tree Grows in Brooklyn author Betty Smith, among others, this year's inductees are poised to continue a legacy of achievement and service.
And it's just not me, it takes the team of teachers to do this. But to find out that I'm top, I said, oh my gosh, not me. But it happens from dedication and love for the job and really wanting to see children excel. No matter what foundation, no matter what ethnic background, it's about love for your job and wanting to see kids move from this point to that point and actually equipping them for life.
Really, for me, it's a dream. I get to bring music, the arts, family, education to the borough of Brooklyn and celebrate what it's all about. And to me, it's a true honor to be here, and I thank you all for this opportunity.
So Emily Roebling, how much do I love that bridge? Though I haven't helmed Heart of Brooklyn for as long as it took to build the bridge, although occasionally it feels like it, I'm just as proud of the organization that we've built together here in Central Brooklyn. Hillary Clinton was almost right. It doesn't take a village, it takes a borough.
They sing about peace and love and mercy and grace and forgiveness. And those are wonderful things to be able to sing about week after week. So thank you so much. I'm so honored, so humbled, and this is wonderful. Thank you.
And I'll never forget when they first assigned me to Brooklyn. I made captain. I was assigned to Queens for about a year, and then they decided to give me my own command, and it just happened to be in a community of Brownsville in East New York, Brooklyn, New York. And I remember saying, but I never worked Brooklyn before. You know, I have family here. Both my grandparents are still in Brooklyn. But I tell you, it was truly a challenge, truly a learning experience, and it's such a pleasure to still be here. And hopefully this is well in my career. Thank you.
It's 38 years since I've been at the Billie Holiday Theater. Billie Holiday is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year, 2012. And it's really because of you. The shows that we do have you in mind. I'm always thinking, what's going to uplift, what's going to stimulate, what's going to educate and keep them on their toes. And that's how we pick the plays. And you come and you support us, and it means a great deal.
Women whose backgrounds and contributions are as diverse as they are significant to the health and happiness of Brooklynites. And though it was a celebration of herstory, the man behind the podium may have said it best.
If you want a job done and done right, let a woman do it, that's for sure. Thank you all very much.
And thank you, ladies. You run the world. Well, that's the close of this Brooklyn Review. But if you'd love to see anything again or check out any of our old episodes, you can get us on iTunes, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or, of course, at our home on the web at bricartsmedia.org. See you next time. Bye now.
Watch this and other Brooklyn Independent Television episodes online at bricartsmedia.org/BIT.